Greetings, YouTube. Today we have some news coming out of the organization Hate Watch. And they have identified a formerly anonymous person who has written uh, pieces defending and supporting white nationalism and male supremacy. Christopher Moore, 60, is former academic who has written under the pen name Francis Roger Devlin, or F. Roger Devlin, since the early 2000s. He is the author of the highly influential 2006 essay Sexual Utopia in Power and the 2015 book by the same name. Both works argue that when men are victimized by policies and other efforts to promote sexual and gender equality, which he argues have made men less attractive to women and probably contributed significantly to the decline in Western birth rates. White nationalists and more mainstream far-right figures have credited Moore's work as Devlin with shaping the male supremacist movement, or manosphere, into what it is today. Um, what can make you less attractive in the dating pool? Being a white nationalist, or or a member of the male supremacist groups. That makes you less popular when it comes to dating apps. If you hint that you are either of these things, if you are associated with either of these groups, you'd be surprised how many people, gay, straight, and otherwise, will avoid you like the plague, because you're the plague. And if that means that white nationalists and male supremacists don't get to date so much, well, shucks, isn't that just terrible? Let me wipe away a tear. Now, they can get out of this mindset if they want. They just don't want to. They would prefer to hear the echoes from their fellow white nationalists and male supremacists rather than look inward, be introspective, get some therapy, and figure out what the heck it is that the problems they have that they aren't dealing with. They're externalizing those problems rather than dealing with them in a healthy way. So rather than talking to a CBT therapist, they're turning to their fellow white nationalists and male supremacists for advice. And those are groups that you don't want advice from, because the advice is always going to be the same. Hate black people and hate women, and yet be continually mystified why women won't date you. That part's the one that always baffles me. I mean, you hate women. You write about it all the time, constantly, endlessly. We can't shut you up about it. And yet you simultaneously don't seem to understand why women don't want to date you. It's like asking a Klansman why he doesn't have more black friends. There's a reason. So, yeah, this guy is a piece of shit. And he's contributed to the crappy worldview that we currently have. He is part of the inshitification of our politics and of our public discourse. This is the kind of person that should very much be put on blast. Make sure that everyone in this entire world knows what he is and what he has done, and make sure that they make him pay for it with absolute isolation. I don't want harm to come to the guy. I just want every sane person in the world to turn their back on him and walk the fuck away. Unfortunately, there's enough white supremacists and male supremacists out there who will champion him and try to fill in all those gaps as the people in his life who are sane do in fact walk away. And then someday he's going to wonder why he can't get a date. There's a reason for it. Just like all the other people that are members of the manosphere who can't figure out why they can't get dates, there's a reason for it. I would love if the group of men going their own way would actually do that. If they would actually go their own way, so we would never have to hear nor see them again. But they don't go away. They talk about it. It's in their title. But all they do is bitch and moan and complain and cleave to the policies and ideology of white supremacy and male supremacy, both of which are sick and twisted. But yeah, so Christopher Moore is a piece of shit. His worldview is a piece of shit. The people he associates with are all shitty. And white nationalism and male supremacy are both shitty worldviews. So in short, you get more dates if you'd be a little less shitty.